We think of multinational corporations as these engines of the global economy, right? They're supposed to transfer knowledge and boost productivity everywhere they go. But in a lot of developing countries, something's getting lost. There's this hidden friction, a quiet drag on their potential, and it's costing everyone a whole lot more than they realize. Okay, so the whole mystery really kicks off with this one pretty amazing graph. Take a look at the black circles. In developing countries, when local managers can easily talk to their foreign bosses, management quality just shoots up. But now look at the gray triangles. Those are the wealthy countries. The line is totally flat. Sharing a language makes zero difference. So what on earth is going on here? So why does language matter a ton in one place and not at all in another? We're going to solve this puzzle, and we're going to do it by following the clues uncovered by a team of researchers from the National Bureau of Economic Research. All right, to get to the bottom of this, we first need to understand who we're talking about. Let's take a look at the typical structure of these companies when they're on the ground. So picture this. You're inside a typical multinational factory, say in a place like Myanmar. You'll usually find this three-tier setup. At the top, you've got your experienced foreign managers, we'll call them FMs. In the middle are the local domestic managers, or DMs, and they're the crucial link. And then at the base, you have the local production workers, the PWs. For this whole operation to work, knowledge has to flow smoothly right down that chain. So what's driving these domestic managers? You've probably guessed money, right? Well, take a look at this. It's not even close. A whopping 58% say they're there to learn new skills. Better pay? That's only motivating 10% of them. And this is so important. Their main goal is to soak up knowledge. Okay, so we know they're hungry for knowledge. Let's step inside these factories and see exactly where things are breaking down. Turns out, this whole problem of knowledge getting stuck, you can pretty much boil it down to one single staggering number. Yep, you're seeing that right. Over a third, 33.8% of the time that foreign and domestic managers spend in meetings, the prime opportunity for transferring those valuable skills, is just wasted. It's lost in translation. It's this massive inefficiency hiding in plain sight. And this isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. Listen to this quote from a domestic manager. Sometimes we don't know what he wants. It's not just about losing minutes in a meeting. It's about real confusion, real frustration, and a massive missed opportunity to learn.
Now, the data paints a pretty clear picture, right? Managers with better English skills tend to earn more and talk to their foreign bosses more often. But here's the million-dollar question. Is one actually causing the other? To prove that, the researchers had to do more than just observe. They had to run an experiment.
And that's exactly what they did. They moved from just watching the problem from the sidelines to actually getting in there and testing a solution. So they set up this really clever experiment, a randomized controlled trial. They took a group of these domestic managers and split them in two. One group, the treatment group, got a free 48-hour business English course. The other group, the control group, got nothing. The question was simple. Could this one little change actually make a difference you could measure? Result number one? Well, the classes actually worked. The managers who took the course saw their English test scores jump way up compared to the other group. That's not a huge surprise, but it's the critical first step. Okay, so their English got better. But did they actually, talk more? Absolutely. This chart shows the group that took the class started communicating more often with their foreign managers. The barrier came down and the conversations started to flow. But this is the real kicker, the smoking gun. In a simulated task, the teams that were led by these newly trained managers were a full 15% faster, and they didn't make any more mistakes. This is proof. Better English led to more communication, and that led directly to a real tangible boost in productivity. So we've connected the dots, right? Better language skills mean more talking, and more talking means better productivity. But how much is that knowledge actually worth? To figure that out, the researchers ran another brilliant test. They asked a bunch of HR managers to rate some fake resumes, and what they found is kind of mind-blowing. A resume that simply mentioned frequent interaction with a foreign manager was valued at a 9.9% wage premium. And get this, that's the exact same value they put on a hard skill like being proficient in Microsoft Office. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The market values all that tacit knowledge, the unwritten rules, the instincts, the soft skills you pick up just by talking with an experienced boss, just as highly as a concrete skill you can get a certificate for.
All right, this leads us to the final and maybe the most important piece of this entire puzzle.
Okay, so if this training is a win for the employee and a win for the company, why isn't everybody just doing it? Why does this obvious problem even exist in the first place? Well, the answer comes down to this really interesting economic idea called non-contractable communication. Basically, you can't write a contract that forces a boss to be a good teacher. Their main job is to get stuff done, to maximize profit, not necessarily to teach general skills to an employee who might just turn around and take those new skills to another company. And what you get is this classic deadlock. The company doesn't want to pay to teach a general skill like language because they're afraid the employee will just leave. The employee, on the other hand, often can't afford that high-quality training themselves. It's a fundamental misalignment. The company is focused on today's profit, while the employee is focused on tomorrow's skills. So what starts as a simple language gap turns out to be this huge economic drag, literally stopping valuable knowledge from spreading where it's needed most. We've solved our little puzzle, but it leaves us with a much bigger question. If a language barrier can do this much damage, what other invisible barriers are out there, silently holding back talent and slowing down growth across the entire global economy?